And here we are again. Another week, another show. I know I say that every week, but true, it's another week and it's another show, so it works out perfect, right? What's happening, gentlemen?
What's going on, man?
Oh, I'm messing around with my 25th anniversary Xandar that I picked up, which is actually very cool. Very, very cool. So, anyways, I'll show that in a little while. I picked up a couple of 25th figures that I'd been looking at for a while. He's not complete. There's a weird. He was only in that. What was it? Was it Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toy Store that had like the 7-pack or whatever it was of the Dreadnoks for the 25th years? And he came with a very specific, like, musketoon looking pistol. And it's in that batch that John and I went through here a few months ago now. We couldn't find that pistol to save our lives, remember? We found everything else. We could not find that gold pistol. So, but I couldn't help myself. It's the only way you're going to get one. So, without paying an arm and a leg for that set. So, it worked out good. Been down to Sasquatch. We did some wheeling and dealing. So, that worked out good. That worked out real good, actually. So that's what I was doing. The camera turned on too quick. I was just trying to get him out of the bed when the show started. So you asked.
That's the way to do it, though.
Well, I was putzing with it before the show because, like I said, I had a long day and I don't know where it went. And I just got downstairs not 5 minutes ago. It was
hello, Nancy.
What's that?
Say hello, Nancy.
Oh, Nancy. Yeah, hi. Oh, that's right. I'm not mad at Nancy anymore. Hi, Nancy. How you doing? This is Corey. Corey's mostly, yes. Most of them now are wired capes. But that seems to be only at the $30 collector figure price point. That's the $25 gold label. I think those are still going to be the rubber or vinyl capes. So
I don't know. This one's got a cloth cape.
The Batman 66?
Well, yeah, and Hugo Strange has got a cloth cape, looks like.
Well, that would be awesome. From what I had seen, the rest of them had still had the vinyl capes, but that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm still mad at him because I have a suspicion of what's going on. He is literally dumping figures on the market at this point in time.
Yes.
Platinum figures at that.
He's
the ones
just
supposed to be limited.
Just wiping us right out because he's dropping figures like crazy. So, yeah, the cape on the 66 Batman is freakishly large, Adam. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, he had in the show. He had a very it was pretty narrow. It certainly wasn't very long. So
I haven't even opened mine yet. I got it the other day, but
hey, Jeremy. So yeah, that was an eventful week. I think, right, for most of us. Little stressful with some of my adventures with Hasbro, but I think I got at least 50% of that stress fixed. I'm still not sure about the other 50% though. And for those of you, who else got your stingers in freakishly large boxes? Because
super large box.
That was ridiculous. I mean,
mine was small.
Yeah, I know you said that the other day that yours barely fit, and then
it had one wrapping of the paper packaging on it, and it was stuffed in the box.
I got a box.
That's how it was.
I got a box that was about 3 foot by 3 foot by about 10 inches deep, and there were 2 stingers in it, and they were wrapped in the cardboard camouflage. There, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
The shredded net mesh stuff. Which, by the way, a lot thinner than it used to be. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not.
It was.
Stuff is a lot thinner.
Mine was in a sealed box on the inside.
Yeah, you got a shipper.
Yeah.
So you got a shipping. That's weird because mine, no shipping box with mine. Mine were just floating around inside that giant box.
But there was no packing in that giant box. It was just a shipper box with them in it.
That's right.
You say that now.
And apparently it was called the CSHB Blossom vehicle.
Oh, there you go. It's cool when you see the code names, right? Interesting.
I guess maybe a bee hangs around a flower and it's got a stinger.
It's got a stinger, right?
So you got to learn to decipher the coding.
Yeah. Nice.
You know, somebody sits around at Hasbro and thinks these things up.
Yes, they do.
For these code names and all that.
Well, what was that? We had that whole wave of poets, right? We had a whole wave of poets, and we had a whole wave of Hanna-Barbera characters. And then some of them have just been really, really random. So yeah, no, that was I have to tell you, the poets and the Hanna-Barbera characters. We did a show or two on those. Remember trying to decipher those? When it all came out in the wash, there was absolutely no connection to the names and the characters. It was just like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I guess, because it didn't. They're getting all philosophical about it, and it's just like, nope, that doesn't have nothing to do with Bam Bam or Pebbles.
Nope.
It worked out all right. So yeah, we got it was a stinger week, right? I'm guessing from what John just showed. John picked up a few things. In spite of myself, I picked up a few things. Actually, one of them just showed up today, and it had been delayed forever. You think about that? GB Models, hey buddy, what's happening?
How you doing?
What do we want to do? What do we want to talk about first? The 4-wheel drive in the room. Is that what we should be doing?
There's a 4-wheel drive in the room.
No, there isn't this one.
All right. I think you're talking about this.
No, I'm talking about this.
Dang,
sorry, I'm not supposed to.
That's it. Dave's gone.
There you go. Lock him out.
Let's talk Stinger. Let's talk Stinger.
Where's my sword at?
This one is. This one seems to be relatively, right, uncontroversial.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's popped in and out of stock, but at least it's back in stock now. Other than the weird size box. That's
Good night, Dave.
Everything was fine with mine. I mean, I like.
Yeah, I mean, mine was unscathed.
Yeah.
I haven't even opened the blast effects, but apparently, I guess they were saying the blast effects were bad.
Good night, Emmeett.
That's right. No, they're the same exact
same
blast
thing.
effects.
Same blast effects that come with bazooka and with scrap iron.
Yep.
And with the
vamp.
Are they painted the same though?
Oh, they look exactly
the same.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Because I'd seen a video where a guy put on there about cutting this off and putting it on this end because it really should have been the smoke at the tail of it. So,
oh well, that is true, but
that's why I can't remember how the other ones looked. I can't remember. I mean, I don't have them handy to look at to see if they were.
I don't either. Any other room.
I put my extra piece box in the closet so I don't have them on hand.
Go get the long box out of the one that we opened.
Yeah, I'm sure your Stinger is down.
It does have something. Looks like it plugs in the end of that though.
It's underneath. It's underneath the insert with the figure. It's on that end of the box. I was the only thing that caught me is I was really, really concerned about the driver when I first opened him.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like butter soft.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the box was hot to the touch because it had been floating around in the the rental truck that they were using to deliver him. He's stiffened right up good. He's still a softer rubber than the last couple of waves of figures. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not as rubbery as these missiles.
No.
I mean, these suckers are really rubbery, but it's okay, right? I mean, that's
I like them. Yeah, I mean they're soft. They're not real flexible, but they're soft.
No. I mean, it's different, but it's not. It's certainly not a. Yeah, they're painted the same.
I can see how it
Yeah,
gives
they're
you more
exactly the
because,
same.
like these little fins, you know, if the originals, because a lot of times you find an original with the fins broke off,
Mhm.
Yes.
but being more rubbery, they're more flexible, so they don't break so easy.
Yeah, I believe that. Yep, makes sense. I mean, no, this isn't a deal breaker by any means. I hope we're not. Hopefully, we're not ruining anything for anybody that's still waiting on theirs, or hadn't had a chance to order one. Like I said, they're still up. EE Entertainment with Earth still got them. I think Big Bad still got them. Hasbro definitely still has them. So you're not out. These are not the ferrets. You're not out in the cold with those. So
I guess this is kind of backwards because you'd think the flame would be coming out the back and then followed by smoke. So I kind of see what they're talking about now.
Sometimes when missiles first launch, though, they run through their own smoke because they're just moving so fast.
Well, see, it's got a hole in the end, like there's something. Of course, I guess they reused this. I bet they used this from scrap iron.
Scrap iron, yeah.
I bet
it was scrap iron and big bazookas.
Yeah,
that one right there was bazookas for his rocket launcher.
Yeah, that law rocket.
And then it had the end, a hole in the end, so you could stick the missile.
Right, the missile on there. But see, that just shows if this was coming out of the launcher, the missile's right here.
Yeah, but see,
smoke in the back, and then
a bazooka is different from a actual missile itself.
Yeah. But I see what they're talking about. I just saw videos of people taking this and cutting it off, and then or using some kind of glue to glue it back on the end down here, where it would fit in this away. So I don't know. I probably ain't gonna put the blast effects on it anyway. So
no, me neither.
Right. Right.
Mine's gonna look just like this right here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool vehicle. I mean, it's.
I would rather them charge $90 and leave the effects off of it myself. Mm-hmm. This right here is something they could sell in an accessory pack.
Yeah, we already
stuff like
we already have every one of them though. I mean, that's the thing. 3 or 4 times.
Make them universal, the parts and all, and then sell stuff like this in a accessory pack if people want them. For me, I don't really care if I was setting them up in scenes, but I don't have the room to set up big giant scenes with stuff and all, so I just basically display them as is without all the special effects and stuff on them. I'm like you. This is how it's going to be. I'm going to put my MMA or my SMS attached to the back of this, and but
it does have a bumper on that you attach to the back.
Yes,
that does have foot pegs, and I'm not too sure I want to be back there when any of them rockets shoot off. No, but it is.
It's when you duck.
It's when you get your hot dog in the stick.
Exactly.
Because it's going to get.
For those that haven't got it yet, I tell you, you're going to have to put your driver in before you put anything else on.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it is a little. Yeah, but it's not like the Vamp.
No, you can't. I have big hands, and I tried sliding it in through the door hole, and there wasn't no way of me getting it in there.
Right.
Well, the good thing is the window's tinted on front. You can't really see another way, so you don't even have to have the driver in there. You can just make it, nobody ever know it.
You can see.
You can stick him on the back.
Yeah.
And then get his hair blown off. Sorry, Dave.
Okay.
That's make a ball joke.
That's what happened to me. I was on the back of my Stinger, and the next thing you know, my beautiful locks are gone.
But I do like the tinted window. It makes
it's cool. Yep.
Like where you let it down, just like with the Vamp,
Yep. I mean, this is a guaranteed Vamp Mach 2 is what this is.
Oh yeah.
This is not a. So yeah. But it's cool. I mean, it's cool. It's a Stinger. I mean, it's awesome. If make your own decision about a Vamp Mach 2 later on. But right now, it's cool. Timothy, buddy. Yeah, I don't know.
What up, Mason?
Somebody, it's one of those weird things. I think somebody in the design team saw a picture of a rocket going off, and it happened to look that way, and that's what we got stuck with. It wouldn't have cost them more money one way or the other to paint it the other way.
Yeah.
or put the peg on it. I think it's just one of those weird things
It's
where
something they already have, so they're not going to worry about it. You know.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
They've
And let's
already
face it, we've had this discussion before. GI Joe, after a certain number, after what the first 6 years, anyways, was definitely all about the repaint.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, if you look at most of the bodies, all of those bodies and legs, they were used dozens of times.
All the 92 or 93 figures were repainted for the 92 and 93 figures were repainted for all the ones they put out in 94. If you look at those.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, it's all good. Like I said, I think the big heavy criticism will come, and it will probably be deserved, with the Mark II vamp, because this is a Mark II vamp that's going to be repainted. And I think that's when the heavy repaint criticism will come, unless they do something really, really different with it as far as weaponry or something. I don't know.
Well, basically, it had the box missile launcher on back instead of the dual cannon like the vamp had on it. So
right, and of course
that's all they got to do is just retool the box with the missile launcher.
Yep, which is a real quick thing. But you know how it's going to go. It's going to be a lot like the Tiger Paw would have been if that wasn't made of unobtainium. People would be even more angry about the ferrets.
Yo, Joe.
There's no vamps either. So, and I mean, that one was way underproduced for what it is. So, so yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, the driver is definitely a repaint. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But let's face it, for a world conquering terrorist organization, they would probably be pretty uniform with their uniforms. So, I mean, it's not like there'd be a whole bunch of difference. So,
yeah, me too.
So no, I'm very happy with it. I actually am. I'm very happy with it. I wish they would get their ordering and processing figured out. Because I was billed for 3 when I had 2. So I'm still not happy about that. But
I still don't have a tracking number through Pulse.
See, this is ridiculous. And
it still shows that it's in shipping.
And I have to tell you, we can get into that, right? I guess we kind of showed off the stingers, all we're going to do.
Well, I do have my only problems with it is the wheels.
They're pretty wobbly.
They are wobbly as all get out.
Yeah, they are. They don't sit on as tight.
They don't sit back. They don't pop in as well as the vamps did. I don't know why they retooled that.
I don't know.
But I do wish they would fix this problem here.
I know that post is short.
That post is extremely short. If you twist it any bit, it falls.
Yep. No, I agree. That I don't even know why that post is that short. It doesn't even make any sense.
There it went. Goodbye.
So
it was the same way on the vamp, though.
Yeah. Same way on the vamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a weird. I don't know.
Timothy, from what I heard, they got a shipment of damaged boxes on the vamps at Big Bad Toy Store. So that's how they got another run of vamps.
Yeah, what was the word they substandard? Is that what they said?
Yeah, substandard.
Substandard, which means my guess was the boxes were damaged.
What I figured it was a bunch that Hasbro got back from customers.
I think so.
That were damaged, and Hasbro wasn't going to sell them on their site, so they sent them to Big Bad Toy Store. Yep.
That's the only thing that I can say about that. But of course, those suckers sold out within minutes too. So and it was here it is. I mean, these are substandard, right? That's the wording they used, wasn't it?
Substandard, yeah, I believe what it was.
Yep.
And it still does have the mirrors where you can see yourself in them.
Yeah. Yep.
Some of us don't want to do that, probably.
A mysterious figure appears behind me.
And another thing is this stupid attachment for the bumper, front bumper.
Yeah.
I look at it falls off.
Too.
Huh?
They fall off the originals too.
Yeah, I know. You think they would have fixed it where it snap on just a little bit better?
Mine's pretty stiff, but
I just look at it and it falls off. Maybe it's because I'm uglier than you. Missile systems totally different on Mark II box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a box system.
Definitely.
Yep. Which is an absolute no-brainer for Hasbro.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to cost them anything to tool that. It's a box with small missiles.
With 2 missiles in it. Wasn't it 2 missiles?
4, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
4 or 3.
Maybe.
I got to look it up now.
Yeah, me too. I don't remember now.
Correct my whole life. Look at that. No, I'm thinking of Snowcat. Snowcat's got 4 on the roof.
Snowcat's got 4.
I'll bet money that the box that they use for the 2 for the Mark II Vamp, they'll reuse that same box for the missile launcher on the Snowcat when they do it.
Yeah, or 2 of them for the whale.
Yeah.
We're never going to see a whale. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
I
It'd be awesome. It'd be pretty awesome.
But it'd come with a
They said we never see any big vehicles like Sky Strikers or Rattlers, but here we go.
Yeah,
Well, I know, but geez, I'm looking at the whale right now, and boy, that sucker would be huge. It would be awesome, though, wouldn't it?
It would be probably about 4 foot long, 5 foot long if they went to scale, but they didn't go to scale with a Rattler neither.
No, they didn't. So
because I figured that up, and that would have been wingspan of 52 inches.
Yeah.
Because the wingspan of the A10 is 52 foot.
Yeah.
Shane.
What was it on the original Rattler?
Yes, sir.
They were pretty stubby.
I do have an idea for extending your post. This might not work, but I found this old Lego shovel I've been cutting pieces off of the handle.
Mm-hmm.
That might work.
Yeah.
If you like cut a little piece off and hot glue it or something to the post.
Yeah.
True.
That might work.
It might be the same width. I don't know.
Depends on how deep the hole is.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a
the
small
hole.
too.
The hole's not that deep anyway. It's just
I
big
don't
enough.
have any problem with mine though.
Well, if you
mine.
twist
what
it
is
around like you're gonna
So,
twist it quickly and shoot it.
See, it's funny. The hole on my base is about 1/4 of an inch deep when this post is only about 1/8 of an inch tall. So
That's how mine is.
but I mean, it's I've lost it a couple times, but mine turns and sits fine. So I don't know. You got a soft one or something? I don't know.
It's fine. It's just when I go to turn it that it wants to fall off.
Yeah.
You got the air turned up in your house. Maybe it's too warm in your house and it's just making it all soft or something.
Yeah.
I'm not hot, so that means it's not too hot.
4.
Now,
Yeah,
my bumper's
missiles
a
on
little.
the I know.
Yeah,
Little
that bumper. Why couldn't they have made those 2 bumper pieces attached like the hood does?
Yeah, I don't know.
That hood is, or that roof piece. Well, that's hard to get off once you put it on. I mean, you try to pull it off.
Yeah, exactly.
I hadn't tried to.
4 missiles on the Mark II.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Mace.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a no-brainer. I don't know if it'll be this year. It might be. I don't know.
I think it'd be next year. I think this will probably be the last big vehicle we get this year.
PulseCon is what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think we'll see the claw then.
And
I hope we see more ferrets in too. If not, I might drive up to Rhode Island and just whoop somebody. Just for the fun of it.
Wait for me to come.
It might be some guy standing on the street corner, may not have nothing to do with it.
Dude standing out in front of the Hasbro Pulse store. Hey man, you work for Hasbro? Nah, whack.
So will you shut up?
Frazier.
That's right. That'll work. Not so much. You wouldn't want to go to a Rhode Island jail. I can tell you that much.
So, you want to talk about the box part? Speaking of the ferret.
Yep. And there it is. Stick in the eye.
Out in the eye, guys.
Now, Adam, what kind of comment is that? What would this show be if we didn't take it so seriously? I mean, seriously.
You just said kidding.
Just totally stop.
I mean, really.
Yeah, he just said
These are not toys, man.
Not just toys.
This is a
What's
way of
wrong with
life.
you? This is
Good night,
life.
Adam.
This is real life.
No, I mean, all in all, I mean, honestly, I'm happy with it.
Oh, I am too.
It's got a flub here and there, but I'm very happy with it, honestly. I think it's cool.
I'm like John. They could keep the blast effects.
Yeah.
I've already got about 4 or 5 sets of them. I bought 2 scrap irons, so that's 2 sets there.
But I think we're all in the same boat that we'd rather be about stuff we did get than hey about stuff we didn't. You know,
Yeah.
So
I mean, it is fantastic. I mean, got a big picture on the side of the driver.
boom.
yep.
Of course, on this side, it's got your numbers.
That's a good catch there, actually.
Yeah, it was.
That's like a kung fu move there. Look, you whip that sucker right around there.
Codes. That code will tell you what the little codes on the side means.
Right.
And of course, the back, it's got the full layout of what you get and everything.
Yep.
A few pictures of the inside of and that's something a lot of people don't talk about. The insides, man, they're fantastic.
Yeah. Well, this one's different with the roof and the doors. You don't get to
Mhm.
you don't see it like the van,
Yep.
but I mean it's got the same details.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's
And
very
of course,
cool.
it still has the fire extinguisher.
Yep.
That
Yep.
snaps into the back windshield.
Yep, no doubt. It's cool.
Boom.
That way you can put your buddy up when he's standing on that back rail.
Ain't no doubt.
Hey, Carl, go stand on that floorboard. Nice.
It's great.
No, I'm happy with it. Well, these
Yeah,
are
I'm
saucy.
too. Really
Might as
nice.
well say goodbye to Kyle. He gone.
Nice. No, I mean I'm happy with it. So, but like I said, customer service at Hasbro's. Boy, I really don't know what's going on over there. I really don't. I will tell you what the deal is. I did manage through the process of a day. I did manage to get 4, and before you say anything, they're all accounted for. I managed to get 4 once-a-mans ordered. All right. The first one was that 7 a.m. flub. For those of you that don't know what happened with that, they just magically appeared on the Pulse website. And me and another member on here, after being told by another member, who was apparently told by another member, we went on there just as an experiment to try to order them. And lo and behold, 2 of them went through. One of mine and one of his. So now you guys, and at 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock, they went up. This is where the big hubbub really hit, where the app was all screwed up. The website was like 10 minutes behind the app. It was an absolute disaster. But I did, thankfully manage to get 2 more ordered. Okay. Then later on in that afternoon, they were popping in and out of stock, right? But you didn't know if they were in stock because it said on the thumbnail sold out. But if you kept clicking on the thumbnail, every once in a while it would pop up as, pre-order. So I'm messing around, I got too much time on my hands here all of a sudden. So bang, right? Lo and behold, I got a 4th one ordered. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, and then it stopped, right? Because I did not get an opportunity to hit my 5 limit, but I did manage 4. Now I'm not bragging. I'm telling you this for a very specific reason. You guys anybody that's ordered from Pulse, you know how this works, right? You get a heads up email, right? Your collection is about to get a big upgrade. So you open your email, it tells you, make sure your payment is correct. Make sure that's all set. Make sure your shipping address is set. That's usually a 24 to 36 hours heads up.
Yep.
Right? That they're going to bill whatever your form of payment was. And then 24 to 36 hours after that, usually you get your shipping notice. Your order has left the building, right?
Yep.
Here's what happened with the first one. I have the first one. It's in my possession. From the 7 a.m. flub order. I got an email telling me I needed to fix my payment method which I have never seen this email before because you know what? Yeah, exactly. It was a complete fluke order. I didn't think it was go through, and the payments were all messed up on the app, remember? So it went through on an account that wasn't even active anymore. So I just went and I figured they'd done their 1 cent thing, right? Where they fish. They charge us penny to the account, right? And it's active. Yep. And then they give you your penny back. And then later on, you'll get your. No, I changed the payment and I instantly charged it for that figure. Yeah. And it's just like, well, that's never happened before.
Where'd your penny go?
And then it sat. And then it sat. And then it sat. And then all of a sudden, it shows up on the doorstep. Here's your figure. They never told me it was shipping. They never said a thing about it. So
where'd your penny go?
Now I let the guys know the other day.
It's going to be an early night for Emmeett.
Yeah, Dave, where'd the penny go? We want to know where the penny went.
Where'd the penny go? Like, who gives a flying about a penny? Anyways.
The dog's barking.
Yes, go play with the dog. So
he needs a chew toy.
Tuesday, I get a thing in my email telling me that payment successful. Not we're going to bill your card in a couple of days. Payment successful. They billed me for 2 more. Exactly.
Spell my name wrong.
Yeah. Yep. 2 M's, 2 E's, 2 T's. Anyways, so I never got any heads up. They just flat out billed me for the two of the figures, the second order, right? That has been sitting as pending, not paid, but pending on my credit account for 5 days at this point. That's never happened before. Because I thought for sure they're going to ship them suckers. They took the money, but my account says nope.
See what you started in.
What's happening with the fourth one? I have no idea. You know what? I appreciate your concern, Timothy. If it bothers you that much, you can spend 75 cents to mail me a penny. That will make him happy. How's that? Yes, we all know the state of economy. Bad. Oh, the greatest Emmeett spells it. Who cares?
Who?
Exactly. This is the only Emmeett that counts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I guess the moral of the story is I don't have any idea what in the world is going on with Hasbro or their billing or their shipping or their customer service.
Or what happened to his penny.
The back standing rail. It's for the ramp. I can see that.
Okay, stop.
Good night.
Yeah. Talk about derailing a good rant, huh? Who gives a crap about a penny? I'm griping about something important. They're messing up our orders.
You better watch where you post that at there, Corey.
Yeah, right.
The obvious trail, looking for that head.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know what's going on. Like when I finally got through 2 weeks ago to somebody in customer service, apparently they're still working from home because there was a kid screaming their head off in the background, and what sounded like a screen door slamming. And it's
that was probably somebody raided the building because they didn't put out enough ferrets for everybody to get one.
Back, John, back.
Right. It's crazy.
Did it sound like me or Shane?
No, it didn't actually. This is
Fireball.
Actually, it did kind of sound like you though. That might be what it was. Ridiculous, huh? So I don't know. I don't know what I'm hoping they get all of this fixed before the 13th, because we're apt to have another round of. I think Shane's right. I think the claw will show up and probably go up for pre-order. And man, if they screw that one up, after the once a man and the ferret and everything else, that's not going to be cool.
It was Corey yelling at Emily to get her feet off the couch.
Yeah, that's right.
Feet on the couch.
What are you doing? Good Lord, there's like chaos around here. The dog upstairs trying to kill somebody. Both kids are wandering around in here.
I'm not wandering around. I'm sitting.
Jeez, my wife said she was going to be in and out doing laundry, and I ain't seen her in a while. You probably ought to go check on her. What the heck is going on up there? Oh, she's in the laundry room. She sneaked by. See, Emmett's bugging me about a penny, and my wife slips by, and I didn't even get a look.
She has a penny. I think she has the penny.
She's got a penny for you.
No, she has the penny for you.
A penny for your thoughts. Correct.
Emmeett, there's a drawer upstairs in the kitchen. I bet there's a penny in it. Go find it for us.
But I've looked through all of the drawers in the kitchen. There is not.
They took them all. That's why.
The dog's here. Apparently, he didn't try to kill someone.
How you doing, buddy? You want to be on the podcast too?
Hi. He talks too.
We have a mob. We want the once-a-mans. I still think more of those are going to show up. I think
I think it has
that could be a Serpentor deal where those are going to go back up for order.
Yeah. I mean, Serpentor did, Mindbender did,
yeah,
and then Chuckles did. So
yeah, that's
I'm sure we'll go say it again.
All of the Cobra Law figures are really pivoting on that one figure. If they don't come through with that, no one's going to buy the rest of them. So.
I mean, you can't complete your set if you don't have a once-a-man figure.
Well, not now that they made it, right? I mean, if they never made it, no one would care. But they made it, and now everybody's going to want it, which I don't blame them. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool looking from the pictures I've seen.
You want to see it?
What are you doing?
I will say this.
I wasn't going to show it because I didn't want to tease everybody because I literally have it as a fluke. It wasn't. I mean, I really wasn't expecting to show up, but it did.
No.
Well, quit teasing and show us. Come on, man.
Where's what?
Where's the once-a-man?
Silas, where is it?
Silas isn't going to know where it is. Go.
It's in a small box.
Oh, boy. Move. You're right in the way here. It's too crowded for this.
It's not in here.
Is there a penny laying on top of it?
Where'd you put the small box?
It's in here.
I bet it's in Emmett's room.
It probably is.
Sure.
With a penny on it.
With a half a dozen pennies, right? Hi, babe.
It's in my box.
Don't worry.
Hey,
about
Amy.
it. He's being
Hey,
lazy.
Amy.
Hello.
She said hello. She went like this and everything.
For me, the Cocoa Days.
This is like chaos. The dog's down here. Silas is down here. This one's freaking out over a penny.
I did while you're trying to find the once a man, I did discover just now that the McFarlane bases work great on the G.I. Joe classified figures.
Oh, that's what we use sometimes.
I never tried that actually. What are you talking? Oh, you
I
have.
put it
They're horrible. They're horrible for McFarlane 7-inch figures. The 7-inch
they are.
do not
They really
stand
are.
up on them. They need a bit, but they're great for 6-inch G.I. Joe classifieds.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna kill my camera for a minute here. I'm gonna go find that.
Oh, okay.
Vinda Viper?
I would love to have one of those figures also, but I don't think so.
What's that?
A window Viper.
Oh, the Viper.
The Viper.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do one in Super 7.
Oh yeah, I would see Super 7 doing one.
Yeah.
Hey, a penny can be a big deal for a guy that did a great job trading up like Emmeett did at the con. Ain't no doubt.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt. Hey, your boys didn't do too bad neither there, Mason.
No, they didn't.
They bought us something for a penny. And then with a Frank Thomas rookie graded card. So that was pretty cool. And Corey wants a classified code Slither. You get a classified code Slither, we're going to get a daggum Snake Eyes and Dress and Drag. And
Yeah, we got to have a boy George Snake Eyes with it in the timber with the sunglasses and the hat on.
yeah.
Okay, so here it is. Oh yeah, that's another complaint. I'll show you that in a minute. This clear slip cover that goes over the box gets stuck in the mailer box.
Oh.
So everybody was popping their, these out, and this plastic insert was and a lot of these apparently got thrown away. Because
those are going to be a rare thing now.
Apparently there was a rash of calls to customer service, and they were saying it was probably in your mailer box. So apparently a bunch of these got tossed. So keep that in mind. I don't remember them saying that this was a lenticular box. Do you guys? Can you see it?
I think I remember them. I think I do remember them. Didn't they show the box on the?
It's very cool.
Maybe it was just a video I watched somebody made of it or something.
The back of course isn't, but The front definitely is from full-on CC to halfway to Snake. So, and Globulus and Nemesis and Wardle and Flint are on the cover.
Also, sorry if the camera doesn't pick it up. Camera does not really pick up lenticular stuff.
Well, you kind of getting the idea.
Yeah, you can see it.
Here's your inside of the box. Let's do it that way. You don't have to look at me. But I still need to see.
I would too, Tim.
Very cool. What's that?
Tim said he'd buy a Super 7 Vindo Viper.
Vindo Viper?
Hey, you said we wouldn't open it. How you open it?
Well, they want to see it, so let's open it. How's that?
This might be sharp. I don't know what it is, but it
Ah, you ain't got to open it up. You ain't got to take it out if you want
I
to.
wasn't gonna.
It looks
To be
good.
perfectly honest with you, I wasn't gonna yet because, this is gonna sound strange. In all seriousness, stop. I know we were having fun with the penny thing, but I'm serious. I don't have a lot of faith when it comes to these. I don't have a lot of faith in Hasbro delivering these. Do you understand what I'm saying? I have one, which is a fluke, but I'm just making sure that it doesn't end up finding another home because Hasbro screws this up somehow. Because for you guys that even tried or were able to try or went through the experience, I'm telling you, it was screwed up. And what they're doing with shipping these, it's almost like these are outside of the normal Hasbro channels because I'm not getting the emails. I'm not getting the warnings. I'm not even getting shipping notices. This thing just showed up on the doorstep. So just because I have 3 more on order doesn't mean I have a whole lot of confidence that they're actually going to show up. And that's pretty sad. When I spoke to them on Friday about the billing on the Stingers, I told them, you guys, I don't know what is going on with this here, but I got no confidence in you at this point in time. So all kidding aside, this is going to sound terrible. I really don't want to open this yet because this may not stay here. But it is very cool. It's very cool.
Tim said he didn't get one either. No notice or anything.
Did yours show up?
Yeah, his showed up. Remember him telling me?
Okay. So these are like outside of the normal channels, and like I said, for whatever reason, I've got 2 more that have been sitting at the payment has been sitting at pending.
The first ones that went out, they did not have a shipping date on them.
No.
When the second ones did have a September 15th ship date.
Right.
So I mean,
that's why I'm not freaking out.
Yeah.
Like hair on fire. Hair on fire freaking out.
That would hurt, Dave.
But I have to tell you, it's a little concerning that the particular credit card that I used for these other ones has been sitting at pending for 5 days.
Yeah.
That's never happened before. Either Hasbro takes the money or they don't, right?
Right.
Well, apparently my credit card company says money's here whenever you want it, but Hasbro's not taking it, which is very strange. It's almost like, what'd you bother for in the first place then? Why didn't you just leave well enough alone?
I have a special announcement. I managed to do something impossible in 2024.
Bound to
Wouldn't aggravate me. You do that all the time.
I got a Deadpool figure in 2024.
There you go.
Very nice.
It's the blue one. I'd never even seen that version of him.
It's a blue and yellow suit.
Sasquatch. He had it. He wanted it.
What hair?
Well, I needed it
So,
to go with my
just-
Wolverine.
It's going to come in a mailer. Just pay attention. Don't throw away your plastic slip case because apparently that's a thing. So, so that's enough of that rant, right? I don't, like I said, but I don't trust. I just don't have any confidence in those other 3 that have been ordered.
See, and they still have the Once a Man up on the website, but it does say sold out. So that gives me more confidence for those that didn't get one that it will hit PulseCon.
Because it just didn't disappear. They didn't take it down. Right.
And
I hope
as far
so.
as the HasLab goes, it's still 14,709 backers. It'll get completely funded.
Oh, it will.
Awareness,
Yeah.
But it's going to be a minute.
But it is dragging.
Yeah, it's dragging bad.
This is, I don't know, I think it'll go over. It'll probably go over 20,000, but I don't know if it's going to hit like
Yeah.
27, 28,000 level
Yeah.
like this and the. Yeah, I do strongly believe that that's true. That those will be re-released. So, anyways, that's kind of making me angry.
And see, the second tier was 14,000, so it hasn't moved very much since, when was it? Thursday of last week when it hit the second tier?
Yeah, something like that, right? Wednesday or Thursday. So, yeah, I don't know.
That's all John wants out of it, Corey, is the patches.
That's all.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only reason they came back to is get them patches.
We're all going to go buy a $200 flight jacket to put them patches on.
Yeah. The plane itself's just junk, just plastic junk. That's all.
It's garbage. That thing is
Just
trash.
Just trash. Yeah.
It's trash.
It's all about the patches, man.
It's all about the patches, man. All about the patches. Just ask Major Blood and that illegitimate monkey. It's all about the patches, man. All about the patches.
I might just take the ones that we get and put them on my bomber jacket.
You might not.
We're gonna have to see.
I don't care.
Hey, those I wouldn't put them on anything because those things are going to be gold on the secondary market.
Oh, they absolutely will, man. It's $325 worth of patches. Yep. No doubt in my mind. Why are you tapping me? What do you want now?
I'm not tapping. I'm actually just bouncing my heads.
You know what's in this cup, gentlemen? You know what's in this cup?
Liquor.
Booze. Tremendous amounts of booze.
With a little water chaser?
No. Nope.
Just booze, huh?
Nope.
I can't see why.
That's
I
just so
can't
you
see
know.
why at all.
Okay. I definitely, the cape is too big on the Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
Are you going to show us?
But the saving grace is that he comes with Batusi hands so he can do the Batusi.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, that
That
is
made
big,
it worthwhile right there. I would have bought it just for that. But yeah, the cape, I mean, it's past his feet.
Oh, yeah. That's
But it is
way
cloth
too
and
big.
it's got wire in it. So
Well,
that would be
once you
cool.
spread
to
it
hang
out like
from the
that,
ceiling.
it's not too long. It's pretty good.
But yeah, he can do the Batusi. It's amazing that one scene. That's what everybody remembers from the
I
old
know,
TV
isn't
shows,
it?
that one scene.
The scene from the movie where he's running on the pier with the bomb.
Yeah.
The Batusi and the shock repellent from the movie is what
Yeah.
everybody always
Yeah.
remembers.
And the what was it when he challenged the Joker to surf and they both had the swimming trunks on over their costumes.
If I remember, Todd made figures of that.
He did. No, Mattel did those. Mattel made those figures, right?
Mhm.
It's amazing when you look at, like, of course, I picked this Hugo Strange up for Dave. But if
Nice.
you look, I mean, it's the
Hugo,
same
buddy.
figure, but look how much bigger, like, his knees are compared to Adam West. I mean,
Yeah.
the body's much bigger and bulkier on, even though they're the same size. It's just
Yeah.
He's
it's-
fat like Road Pig.
That's right. He buffed
Yeah.
me. Not buff enough. Because Adam West was famous for his being buff.
Yeah.
He's just not buff enough. Frank Gorshin was buffer than Adam West was.
that's what on the Big Bang Theory when they had him, coming to Leonard's birthday party and they was talking about the best Batman and all that. And Adam West talking about all of them had those padded suits and all. He said, "Not me." He said, "That was the real West in that outfit." There wasn't no padding to make him look muscled or nothing like it.
We gotta, you know what? We gotta talk about this with the McFarlane stuff, the platinums. I'm telling you right now, I got a sneaking suspicion. Somehow, some way, we spent a couple of waves being programmed into thinking the platinums were the rares, and
When it's the normal.
they're going to be the ones that are hard to get, and blah blah blah. Now all of a sudden, everything that seems to be showing up is platinum, and everybody's half killing themselves to buy them when I think they're normal. Because I went online to look to see. I wanted to know what the difference was between the platinum Hugo Strange and the regular issue. There are no photos or no mention anywhere of a regular Hugo Strange, just the platinum. So I don't think platinum means what it meant here 2 months ago.
So Well, maybe the regular Batman was. I mean, the regular figure was a Batman, but the platinum is Hugo Strange.
I don't think so. It's just Hugo Strange.
So, that is weird.
There are no. Look it up for yourself. There are none pictures of any regular issue or just gold label Hugo Strange out there. Nothing.
And Paul
I
Timmy,
wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't
either. I told him kick rocks.
I wouldn't have done it. I'd have told him to get lost.
What was that?
Some
the guy that was
stalking.
stalking him in Walmart.
Yeah, stalking. It's just, no.
Well, he wanted that figure back. It was a Superman he was after, right?
Look, you can't be doing that stuff. You cannot set a precedent with these people because next time he sees you in this store, he might be looking for a date. What are you going to do then?
Oh, I'm gonna say yes, Tim.
You just delaying the inevitable now. So probably guys watching this right now going, "Ew, what are you talking about, man?"
Tim, you should look at him and said, "Are you a member of the Alabama Toy Mercs? You should be." There's a lot of guys in there that got something to say to you.
We got to talk about,
Set him up with Corey.
Corey's going to be on here with a post.
What was it? Yeah, what was it? McFarlane had his out of the blue crowdfunding thing with the Superpowers line, right? Which was a
There it is.
It was like a
Black
pancake.
Manta. What's that?
It was like a pancake, wasn't it? It flopped over so bad.
Well,
What's that?
He said
It's a joke.
Yes,
Black
I know.
Jack.
He wanted 600 grand to get the whole production thing going, right?
Yeah.
It failed miserably. It hit 145,000. Basically had no time left, so in he came and just called it funded.
Yeah.
Was what he did for 20. It turned out to be, I guess it's at like 27% now funded from the original numbers. He just called it good. Was not going to take the L on that one. And just said, okay, even though the last time I looked, there was only like 1,800 individual units bought. He's just gone into production with those, which was a Black Manta ship with an Aquaman, and then there was the Bat multi-pod or whatever the heck they call it. It's from the Superpowers. If you guys remember that cartoon from the 80s, they had that weird flying machine that they were around in.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like a Batcopter without a rotor.
I'm
It's
guessing he just
basically what it
wanted
does
to
look
make
like.
them.
He very much so wanted to make them, but I think his ego also got in the way. He didn't do any pre-hype for him or anything. He just dropped it on the market and expected everybody to kick down his door, and it didn't happen.
I'll be kicking down his door.
So, but there was something interesting in that, and I don't know if you guys. I showed it to Shane and John the other day, saying we probably ought to discuss this. There was something very interesting in the facts for that Kickstarter campaign. Somebody asked, "How long before we get our order?" And the response from McFarlane was that once it hits a certain point of funding, we go into production, right? And then it's just product design and tooling, 4 to 6 months. 4 to 6 months. Why are we waiting a year and a half for Hasbro from Hasbro? That doesn't make any sense, guys.
None.
It makes no sense. These, I get it. The HasLabs are much more complex than what McFarlane's offering, but McFarlane is showing us finished prototypes. The tooling and the design are all done.
I wonder if that's why he went ahead and counted it as funded, because he already done the tooling and already had them in production.
I'm betting that's what the problem was.
Yeah.
Entirely possible.
I bet that's why then he counted it funded. But I think he thought, well, there'll be a bunch of people. He could go ahead and get everybody's money in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
And that's what I think most of this is all about. Is they're leveraging and operating on everybody else's money.
Yep.
Because if you remember, and I know I keep beating this dead horse, but I'm telling you right now, we were told that the Dragonfly that was on display last fall at the London Comic-Con was the finished item.
Yep.
That was the production Dragonfly that was on display in London last, October? And we still don't have them. There's something really weird with Hasbro and the money that they take in with these HasLabs. I'm sorry, but there is. And they keep telling us the same thing. They did it. They definitely did it with the Hiss, and they did it again with the Dragonfly with the email we got, 3 weeks ago? Oh, we're finishing things up. Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
We're just making it perfect. And it's just like, no, I don't think that's what's happening. Somehow I think this is a this is a money grab, and they hang on to it as long as they possibly can.
Yep, I agree with that.
4 to 6 months. If McFarlane can do a Kickstarter without any pre-press or any big hoopla or anything else, and he can put product in people's hands in 4 to 6 months, HasLab can certainly do it in 12 with a much more complex vehicle. Well, I have to tell you, Timothy, you talk about sweatshops. I think there's another big difference between McFarlane and Hasbro is McFarlane is using Vietnam and India for a lot of his production. He is out of China. He wants nothing to do with Chinese factories anymore, which I think is actually smart. But that may be an issue where, let's face it, things with us and the Chinese are not great. The Chinese economy is a lot worse than ours, and there were literally thousands of factories closing in China and have been over the last year or so. So that's the less cynical side of it, that maybe it's actually they're having problems with production and just don't want to admit it. I don't know, something very weird about it, that McFarlane can put it out in 4 to 6 months, but Hasbro needs 12 to 18 months.
And what they do not understand is there is some legal action that can be taken against them if people wanted to do that, because you're basically signing a contract with them.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. The minute they take
you
your
agree
money
to buy that product and they take your money, you have basically signed a contract with them that you will have that product done by their set date. And then when you continuously move it back and back and back and back, if people wanted to push it, I think there could be a small lawsuit there against them, or a big lawsuit against them.
I think that's why they don't specify the date. They just says
they do though.
Ships by the
fall.
season. By
But
fall,
then
but it's
November,
not a specific date.
they've now pushed it to November.
Yeah.
They say early fall. Exactly what they said with the Dragonfly.
Yes, right. Which
And now they're saying November. That's nowhere near fall. That's 3 months past fall. So, I mean, the last of fall, I'm afraid.
fall is what? That's solstice, winter solstice is December 20th, 21st, or whatever. So, I mean, winter doesn't start until the end of December. So, there's a weird window there. But I get, you're making a good point, Shane. The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter what the calendar says. We all have a perception of what the seasons are. None of us actually think of December as the fall.
No.
Especially having grown up in Maine. No, December
a lot
is
of people
not.
don't even think of November is the fall. Because come time for Thanksgiving, everybody's ready for winter.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
I mean,
right. And like I said, 3/4 of the country literally has winter by December.
Right.
We're done with fall.
When
fall
you say early fall and then you're late fall, 3 or 4 months behind. I mean, trust me, I know this from the line of work I'm in.
Oh yeah.
When
No,
you
that's
sign a contract with these people, and you give them a date you'll be done. You have a couple of weeks leniency, yes, but other than that, no. People can start filing lawsuits against you and wanting money back.
So now that we're on this topic of weirdness and deadlines and things getting stretched and manipulated, I want to talk about this. How many of you guys heard what you got?
They just say on the
guide.
Rattler. They just say shipping fall 2025. They don't say early fall.
They probably learned their lesson, right?
Oh yeah.
But the Dragonfly says estimated ship in December.
Now
that's been changed, right?
Now that it's been changed,
it's not even late November; it's December.
So now it's moved to December. See, they said November. What, 2 months ago? In July?
Was it 2 months ago we got that email?
Something
I think it was
like that.
June, something like that. Last of June.
Yeah, it was pretty close. So, how many of you guys heard that we were getting a AAA video game based on Snake Eyes? Right?
I heard about it.
A AAA video game.
Yeah, AAA as in top of the line, not like mobile
Mhm.
games or the cheapo $30 stuff you can pick up. This is like Batman Arkham series games, top level video game was what is AAA. Right. This is interesting. And the only reason I'm even bringing this up is because this popped up in my news feed yesterday. And then I got looking at it. It's just like, wait a second. So back in May of 2022, Hasbro comes out and says, "Yeah, we're gonna make you a AAA video game. We've got people that worked on the Arkham series for Rocksteady. It's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and quote unquote, it won't be your daddy's Snake Eyes." Right? That was in May of 2022. Last June of 2023, we get another update from Hasbro, just letting us know that, hey, we're going to make a AAA video game based on Snake Eyes. We've got a new project lead, another guy who used to work on the Arkham projects. And what does he say? He says, open world, fantastic, blah, 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 not your daddy Snake Eyes, blah, blah, blah. Right? Same crap that had been said 12 months earlier. Right? But then he says in the article that I read today, I'm having a hard time convincing Hasbro to let us do with the character what we want to do. Okay? That was last June that story was published. Now a story gets published a day or 2 days ago saying Hasbro, get this, guys. This is, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due. This is That Park Place website. It's John F. Trent who wrote this. A job listing on Hasbro's websites provides new details on the upcoming G.I. Joe game starring Snake Eyes being developed by North Carolina-based studio Atomic Arcade. Batman Arkham producer Ames Kirshen leads the studio, and he revealed back in March of 2022, that he had joined Hasbro to develop a game focused on the G.I. Joe back in March of 2022. Okay. He informed Game Industry, I always had this great desire to tackle G.I. Joe and take a crack at making an amazing game with the IP because I think there's a lot of potential there. So long story short, we decided to build a studio to support that franchise, to support that game. 2 years ago. Right? Still with me?
Mm-hmm.
He also informed the outlet that the game would be focused on Snake Eyes and described it as a much more edgy, contemporary, mature take on G.I. Joe to really suit what we felt we needed to have this IP and game resonate with a modern consumer, end quote. While Kirshen's comments about providing a contemporary take may give some readers pause, it gives me pause. That's him saying that, not me, but I will double that. Kirshen elaborated while discussing how he had to convince Hasbro executives to greenlight the game. He shared, it was a process of getting them comfortable with the direction we wanted to go with, that this is the type of content the market is looking for. Are you guys hearing a familiar thread here? That people grew up with this IP, and those who grew up with this IP back in the days of Real American Hero at its peak in the 80s and 90s are now fathers and uncles. And these are the mass consumers of these AAA consoles and PC platforms. And they want content that grows with them, he explained. No, we actually don't. That is where you make your mistake, right? We want our characters. We don't want your take on them. We don't want them modernized. We want our characters, right? Kirshen also seemed to imply that he will be telling an original Snake Eyes stories with the game. Quote, if you look at what the evolution has been in the late PS3 area moving into PS4, it's been to take these ideas and craft unique experiences, taking some of the best elements of the underlying IP from the source material, but creating a version specifically for the video game market and video game consumer, as opposed to taking someone else's version of the characters and trying to adapt them to the medium when that wasn't organically created for that medium from the get-go. BS. Right? BS. To make his point, he compared his work on the Arkham series to Christopher Nolan's Batman films, two totally different things. At the height of the Christopher Nolan trilogy, rather than doing a game based on that Batman, which they did do, working with Rocksteady, we created our own version of Batman that was specifically built from the ground up to be an amazing, cutting-edge, high-quality Batman game that was very much inspired by other media and the core canon of Batman, but was at its own unique, fresh take made for gamers from the ground up. You know what? I'm sorry, guys. I love those games. They are really the only reason that I have owned consoles in the last 15 years was the Arkham series of games, because they are absolutely fantastic. The take on the characters, just to give you an idea, I got all my Arkham figures right here. This is Scarecrow, right? Awesome design, but this is still Jonathan Crane, right? His origin is still the same. This is also Cobblepot, right? This is still the Penguin. This was not this guy is full of crap. This was not some radical departure or modernization of these characters. This was awesome stuff.
Show him the only character that he even added for this universe.
Arkham Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a unique character, but this is Jason Todd. I mean, spoiler alert, the game's 10 years old now, so it really doesn't matter. But this is still very much so Batman. This isn't what he's trying to sell here. So now I think we've got all the clues we need as to why Hasbro was reluctant to let him do what he wanted to do, right? Based on the huge success of that became the model for us across all of our portfolio for DC, which, by the way, the last game, the Suicide Squad game, cost them $200 million because it is such garbage. Such garbage. Anyways. Yeah, here he goes. He still makes a point to say he's going to respect G.I. Joe, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 right? So then we get into this. Now, a new job listing for senior world level designer shares some of the details of the game. It notes the game will be a multi-platform AAA game, a bold and contemporary take on the G.I. Joe universe starring the legendary character Snake Eyes. Specifically, the job listing implies that the game will have a mix of open world as well as closed level mechanics, very similar to Arkham City.
Which was still a good game.
It states that the candidate will bring passion for both open world and linear level design. I'm not going to read any more of this because it really goes into the job opening. So we were told 2 years ago that this other guy, Abood or whatever his name, who had supposedly worked on the Rocksteady games, the Batman verse, the Arkham verse, he talks Hasbro into dumping a bunch of cash into this nothing. It's Atomic Studios over here in one of the Carolinas, who did nothing but mobile games for cell phones before, right? We're going to use this studio, and we're going to build this studio, and we're going to have a AAA Snake Eyes game, right? 2 years ago. Then last year, he goes on to say that, hey, we finally got Hasbro to agree to let us trash your character. Because that's basically what he's saying. I don't care what anyone says. That's what the man is saying. Hasbro finally caved in because Hasbro's probably going, holy crap, we just dumped tens of millions of dollars into a video studio who has not produced anything yet.
Yep.
After 12 months, right? Another 12 months goes by and we just get this, that they're just now posting a job posting for somebody to come along and start developing the levels for this game, we all know that these games take multiple years to produce. So these people have been screwing around with Hasbro's money for the last 2 years, building a AAA game studio out of nothing in one or the other of the Carolinas. I think it's North Carolina, right? And now they're just now posting a job posting for somebody to, hey, can somebody come here and actually make this game?
I mean, I can make levels. I already have a great idea.
I'm sorry, but you know what? Hasbro has been hosed on this. They have thrown a bunch of money down a gigantic hole. Maybe they've agreed to let this clown trash the greatest character in the G.I. Joe universe with all of this stuff, right? Whatever you want to call it. And they have nothing. It's been 2 years. They have nothing produced. They're just now in the process of hiring. Here's my prediction. This game will never be made. Hasbro will end up closing the studio, right? These guys are going to take the money and run, because this happens all the time in the video game industry. These guys take the money and run, and they just go, we had creative differences.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you got a few $1 million in your pocket. You got the fans all hyped up for nothing. I'm sorry, guys, but 2 years in, and they don't have a single panel made. This is never going to happen.
No.
This is not happening. And I hate to say this, if it did, from the sounds of it, it will be a colossal failure. Because, I'm sorry, if we're going to have a Snake Eyes game, we want Snake Eyes. We don't want any more of this movie crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know how that worked.
Yeah.
All of us old dads and uncles and grandpas and everything that grew up with that outdated crap is just, we were just going to fall in line. Guess what? We didn't. And our wallets stayed right in our back pockets. We weren't beating down the doors of the theaters to go see that movie multiple times.
The movie was okay by itself.
But it wasn't Snake Eyes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It
was a different character.
The cool thing about movies is you can go backwards, you can go forwards, you can do whatever you want to when you're telling a story. Why didn't we go right back to Vietnam and tell Snake Eyes' story?
Agree with that.
Too violent for the new audience.
Nah, that's BS. That's BS.
Yeah, for real.
That movie that they made was plenty violent.
Have you seen the Deadpool movie?
No.
Plenty of violence.
No, I haven't watched them. I mean, I have my moments where I love really immature, stupid humor. But there's a line there where it's just a little too immature and a little too stupid in too much of a quantity. Does that make any sense to you? I don't mind it. Airplane, Dracula, Dead, anything Mel Brooks has done, the Zucker brothers, almost anything that they've ever done, that kind of Naked Gun stuff, that is so stupid, it's smart. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
That Dracula movie was kind of funny.
But the Deadpool stuff, I have to be honest with you, it has absolutely no appeal for me. That would be cool. The Resolute, I think Resolute would make an awesome movie.
Oh yeah,
I think that would make an awesome movie.
It already is a movie.
I got you like a fish. I mean, that was awesome stuff, But my prediction is, after reading that rant and everything else, I'm sorry, but that video game is never going to happen.
No, it won't.
Hasbro will probably wake up in the next 6 to 8 months, realize that they've been suckered, dumped a bunch of money into nothing. That game studio will close down and it will never happen. Because I'm sorry, 2 years in and nothing's been produced. Now we're just going to hire a project lead for this after 2 years. Get real. Somebody's been collecting a paycheck for nothing. And that's the way it's going to go. So I think that's my prediction. And I was actually shocked because when I read that story the other day, it was kind of like, geez, it has been a while since we got an update on that. And then I realized, oh, geez, it's been a year. And then I realized, wait a second.
That's an update.
That's an update from a year ago. So we're 2 years in and nothing's happened? Nah, never going to happen. Never going to happen. That's sad because I was really looking forward to that. But
for real.
You could have done a whole bunch of Arashikage stuff. It could have, Hard Master, Soft Master, Blind Man, all of that stuff. It could have been so great.
You could have made a Vietnam round where you have to
run
as Tommy through the Crossfire. That would have been kind of cool.
Could have been awesome. The whole thing could have been absolutely fantastic to just tell the story in video game form because let's face it, there's nothing wrong with the story as it is.
Not at all.
Right? The whole thing takes place in the 1980s. Do you think any of us would go, oh, man, I hate that? No. We'd be perfectly happy with some flashbacks from Vietnam, some stuff at the cabin, Arashikage training days. That would be awesome. But another guy that knows everything trying to tell us what we want when the fact of the matter is we don't want any of that.
You don't want what he wants.
No, we don't want that. So,
I mean, you could seriously toss in goofy moments from the cartoon.
why would you do that?
Why not?
I mean, a Easter egg here and there, as long as it's not a wig and a breakdancing wolf. I mean, something stupid like that.
The wolf wasn't dancing.
He was too. Timber was breakdancing in that movie, wasn't he, guys?
No.
Yes, he was.
I watched that not too long
I'm
ago.
sorry,
It was
but
only Snake Eyes.
Polly and Timber were dancing right along in that stupid episode. I'm sorry, but that's exactly what
I
happened.
mean, you could straight up just do something like that where it's like you have the ability to go on the stage and
No.
it'd be funny.
You got your mic off, John.
John,
Your mic's off.
I
Do it
cannot
again.
tell a lie. He was dancing in it.
he was.
The Vinda Bible? I don't know. That's my rant. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of everybody's bright ideas that end up just sucking up money and resources, and it costs us. It just costs us. My prediction is this video game is not going to be made.
No.
It
Oh,
is made
that's
of trash.
So that's it. That's
So,
my rant.
I did look up the email on the Dragonfly.
Yep.
It was to be delivered summer of 2024, but they changed it to December of 2024.
See, now that is a flat out violation. That's a contract violation.
It is.
That is, you can't rewrite a contract.
It says to
After the
ensure
fact.
we are getting you the best product possible. The original anticipated delivery timeline of summer of 2024 has been revised. The new estimated delivery time frame for your G.I. Joe Assault Copter Dragonfly XH1 is December 2024.
In other words, to ensure we're getting all we can out of that money you sent us through
Right.
interest, we're going to hold it for a while longer before we
Right.
deliver anything to you.
Right, exactly. Because let's face it, shipping costs have gone way up, and we don't want to get hosed on that either.
You get a black light shining over that contract.
Right. No, that's my point, Corey. There is literally nothing that has been done to that game. It's not going to happen. So just write that one off. Hiss repeat. Yes, exactly. Yep. But you know what? We were so thrilled when we actually got the hiss that we forgot all about it, and then we turned right around and did it again with the Dragonfly, and the Dragonfly is worse.
Oh, yeah.
The hiss was only 6 weeks, 2 months late, technically.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
Now
it
you're
was still
looking at-
December before they shipped.
It was, but because
was-
I
it
remember
was
we
fall.
were talking.
They were saying fall on it, though. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I don't know.
Somebody
No,
was
you
focused
saw
on Emily's feet on the couch, and they missed type summer and type summer instead of fall on it. What happened?
Possibility.
It's just ridiculous. Timothy earlier just said collecting is getting weird. Is that what you said? Collecting is getting weird. It's like, yeah, man, it is. And,
It is.
I have to tell you guys, I've been looking more and more at the financials for Warner Brothers. This Warner Discovery mess, $6 billion. They lost $6 billion with a B dollars in the second quarter of this year. $6 billion. I have a suspicion about McFarlane, especially with what's going on right now. I suspect he's dumping product onto the market, DC product on the market as fast as he can, because if Warner Brothers goes under, that license is going to be in limbo. And I don't think, as far as I know, it comes up at the end of this year. I don't think he's going for it again. I'm not sure anybody's going to be able to go for it. Warner Brothers may very well be in bankruptcy. And if that happens, publishing is going to stop And those DC characters are going to be in limbo. So I'm beginning to think McFarlane is dumping product on the market as quickly
he's pumping
as
them out there.
Good Lord. I mean, there's been, Timothy could probably back me up on this. I'm going to say there's been 20 figures either announced or dropped in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah. Well, did you see the list of Marvel figures coming? There was, 25, 30 on that list.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
They go Hasbro's shelling out the Marvel Legends.
And Star Wars and Transformers.
Yeah. They're putting out more Marvel Legends than they are anything right now.
When do you guys have any idea when that license comes up again?
Which one? Marvel?
Marvel.
I don't got a clue.
It's probably all tied together with Disney. They probably got Star Wars, Marvel all together on the same.
Well, they're dumping a lot of Star Wars product too.
Mm-hmm.
Even though those shows are being canceled left and right, apparently.
Oh yeah.
And just recently, McFarlane, he dropped his.
Yeah, see, more like 50 to 60 with the last 2 list drops earlier this week. Yeah, no, I mean, the rumor list is absolutely huge, and it's basically a confirmed rumor list. So my suspicion is, old Todd is just jumping DC product as quickly as he can to make everything he can off of it before it's over. For those guys, you guys that don't know, you order comic books 3 months in advance, right? Mm-hmm. So books that you're ordering now are not going to be in the stores until November. Right now, DC is trying desperately with their big revamp with the Absolute Power, then All In and the new Absolute line of books that will run concurrent with the regular continuity. It actually breaks my heart to say this, but looking at the sales, listening to a podcast this past week, 70% of DC's books are what are called dead books, which means they're not even in the top 100.
Yeah.
They have less than 10 books in the top 65. Absolute Power is an absolute failure already.
Oh yeah.
Absolute All In is already a failure, and the Absolute titles have seen a bump because that's more like everybody wants an issue 1 because they're curious. But long term on those that's an absolute failure. So this was it's just known in the industry. This was very much so a last-ditch effort for DC, for Warner Brothers to save DC publishing. It hasn't worked. So my only guess is I think you're absolutely right, but here's the hard fact about this. And IDW is in so much debt that they're already speculating that IDW is going to be dead in the next 6 months because it cannot produce enough Ninja Turtle books to even pay its debt service. Boom, which is number 4 in publishing. The only thing that they have is Power Rangers, and that line is absolutely dead. And they are in absolute dire straits. They're publishing from month to month at this point in time. Mm-hmm. There is one comic book company. Marvel is in a bad way. That whole Blood Hunt thing was an absolute disaster. There's only one. Realistically, there's only 2 entities that could pick up the publishing for the DC characters from Warner, and that's Skybound, Mr. Kirkman, and Mr. McFarlane. And I'm not convinced that either one of them are even interested. And at this point in time, Disney wouldn't. They might try to buy the movie rights to those characters, but that would be the extent of it.
I believe so too.
Yeah, they do the Disney comics, but the Disney comics haven't carried their own weight apparently in a very long time either.
Yeah, I haven't even seen a Disney comic on the shelves. I used to collect those Mickey Mouse ones. Remember that?
I know.
I have a bunch of those sitting around. Those were great comics.
So the hard thing is, I mean, and a lot of this is, a lot of us are old horse and buggy guys looking at the new automobiles going up and down the street, right?
Yep.
A lot of this is just we're coping with a changing world and things that just kind of by their
Oh,
own
why
nature
did I
go
open it?
away. But this is impossibly sad to me because none of this had to happen. These weren't, the medium wasn't replaced by a new technology. It was killed by a bunch of ignorant writers
Exactly.
who decided somewhere along the way that they knew what the long-term customers really wanted. Well, we were buying books every month. You know what? We already told you what we wanted, the books that we were buying. They change everything all around. People stop buying books, and they just think that somehow that's some kind of magical coincidence, but it doesn't have anything to do with the content.
Yeah.
No, it can't be the content. We're giving you what you want. Trust us. Well, nope.
No, you're not.
And
they keep shoving it in. Every comic you open up has got this crap in it.
Here's what concerns me. And this is where I was getting to, because I don't want to lament. I don't want to cry over DC anymore. I really don't. Skybound is doing a fantastic job with the Energon universe, and they're doing a great job with Mr. Hama, keeping him in a job with the continuation of the original storyline. Go support the Kickstarter, by the way. You guys are doing a good job on that. Thank you for that. Anyways.
Mounties and Wolves.
Mounties and Werewolves. Get over there and donate or buy, whatever. I don't care. Go support it. Robert Kirkman is notoriously liberal. Most of the writers that he has on these books are notoriously liberal. What I'm afraid of is sooner or later their ideology is going to run over their financial common sense, and they're going to start sticking stuff in those books that are going to shut us off in one issue.
That's all it takes.
Well, you know what? For G.I. Joe fans, I think Transformers fans are somewhat more tolerant. But I can tell you right now, I have always found that most G.I. Joe fans are relatively conservative people. You start that woke stuff.
That's what Corey just said.
It's going to dry up. It'll dry up fast too, because we'll walk away from it.
Corey said it before you did.
Let's face it. This is a comic book that has died multiple times already. Right? We're pretty well used to it by now. If it goes away one last time,
that's the last time.
We'll just go back to doing what we were doing. Right?
We'll go play with our toys in the dark.
I'm not getting political. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that woke ideology is wrong or it's right. I'm not getting into that. I'm telling you it doesn't sell. Now, you can make your own judgments on why or how or whatever, why it doesn't sell. That's entirely up to you. I'm telling you, the fact of the matter is, it does not sell. And most of us dads and granddads and uncles or whatever else this guy wants to call us, we want the characters that we had. We don't want them modernized. We don't want them revamped. We don't want any of that stuff. We just don't. That has been tried with G.I. Joe multiple times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Devil's Due did it with Reloaded, right? Reloaded went what, John? 12 issues?
Something like that, yeah. It didn't run too long.
No. That last attempt that they made at rewriting the whole G.I. Joe universe, that didn't even last 3 issues. So guess what? Tread lightly. You tread real lightly about what you're doing with this revamped universe, because one slip up, you'll go from a top 10 book to
top
not
0.
in print anymore quickly. Because we've had that conversation amongst ourselves. We'll drop it in a heartbeat. Just do it. You do it, and it'll be done. So, all kinds of weird stuff going on. So Timothy was right. Collecting is getting very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just, I really enjoy, and I'm not being some kind of sycophant. The continuation of the G.I. Joe original storyline with everything that's going on Cobra Island and now in Springfield and everything. I find that enjoyable. I really do. I think it's fun. I think it's a completely different take on what's been going on. At this point in time, I have to be honest with you. I never was into it. Couldn't care less. Matter of fact, that Transformers book is absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It's
I love
absolutely fantastic. It's awesome, as a matter of fact, right? Destro, Duke was okay. Cobra Commander was awesome. Destro is definitely a setup book, and you guys know what I mean by that. It's getting you got to get from point A to point B, and you got to have 5 issues in the middle there.
Yeah.
What's going on with Scarlet?
It's like a map with missing pieces.
The Scarlet book makes me nervous because I have to be honest with you. At this point, it really doesn't make any sense. I just read issue 3. I have to tell you, from where it should have come from and where I think it needs to go, it's not making any sense. Does that make sense to you guys? I know you've read it too. It's not.
Confusion.
What are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? I'll say it. Scarlet and Tommy without Snake Eyes in the mix somewhere makes absolutely no sense.
No.
Do that backwards.
No, I didn't.
I'm trying to do a question mark above your head.
Good night, Emmeett.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not as confused as you think I am. I don't know. I just want.
I agree.
According to me, keep your
as far as my new comics, I mean, yeah, I'm reading these and they're pretty good. But like, you know, when I got into the X-Men there, trying to, you know, with the House of X and the X of Swords, which was supposed to have been a great storyline and all coming up, and it was stupid. I mean, it was literally stupid. It was a joke.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's got nothing to do with agenda or politics or anything. The stories just aren't any good.
Yeah, I know.
The resurrection thing, where now they, you know, where they can't die, they just resurrect them back, and it don't make sense because they've already proven that Wolverine pretty much can't die. He's been blown completely up, and then reforms.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they resurrected Wolverine in one issue. I'm like, well, what about the Wolverine that's still out there? Because he's going to reform, and then you have 2 Wolverines. It made no sense. And it's like they've just gotten stupid with the storytelling.
Yeah.
It's like Timothy said. Used to, you had Spider-Man, he'd face off against Doc Ock or Green Goblin. They'd battle it out for an issue or 2, and then you'd move on to another one. And then
Exactly.
now they're wanting to drag it out and make them like soap operas, where they're just you have to get all the titles.
Yes, right.
And read them all to know what's going on. And it's a ploy to sell books, but there's just no good writing there anymore. It's just the writing's shot. I mean, I don't know. It just, I just.
You're right on the money, because even if they haven't gone woke, like most of the second and third tier books did on both publishers, the main books are just horrible. It's just like the writing, the pool of writers, they're pulling them over from their TV studios or something. You know, this guy writes sitcoms and they all suck. So let's let him write a comic book for 12 issues. It's like, nope, that's horrible.
Well, it's kind of like with Boyd Rivals. It was going to be what, a 4-issue comic?
Yeah.
And it is still going.
Huh?
It's up to like issue 10 now, 11?
Something like that, yeah.
And it's a great storyline. And it's tying it right in with Transformers. So, I mean, it's a fantastic storyline. And it's something that they only were going to do 4 issues. And I believe I told you guys after reading like issue 3, there is no way this is just going to be 4 issues.
Oh, no, right. Yeah,
so
they couldn't
catch up with. And then all of a sudden,
right,
they announced they were going to 8 issues, and now they're at like 12, 11 or 12. So it's a great read. And I mean, I think it's going to continue to go. It's great. It's got
the books are a lot shorter now too. There's a lot fewer pages.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I mean, whole lot fewer pages, and for a lot more money.
Your last 8 pages is nothing but advertisements for other books and stuff, and most of the comics now.
Yep.
And you know, the old ones had advertisements too. They'd have several pages, but they would be at least 30 or 35 pages per book. Now you're getting what, maybe 20?
Yeah, maybe. I think the average book is like 22 pages.
Yeah.
You know, and the art. Timothy there with that comment and the art. Here's the thing, and I've looked into this a lot in the last couple of weeks because of all of this stuff about Larry Hama and money and blah 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 blah. The artists are paid by the page. So now you're talking about shorter books, which means they're automatically getting paid less.
Yep.
And now the page rate is down so low that most of these guys are doing multiple books a month. If you're a good artist and you're able to stay busy in the industry, you're doing multiple books. The writers are doing multiple books a month.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Most of the great artists, they're out. They went to Substack, or a lot of them are off elsewhere self-publishing now because they won't deal with the big comic houses anymore. They learned that they're just going to treat them like dirt anyways. They're not going to pay them. They're going to steal their ideas, and they'll leave them on the ditch. You won't even feel bad because they'll go over to the graphic arts department and have some kid come over that does greeting cards or movie posters and have him draw 5 issues. And I'm sorry, that's exactly what's happening. Ethan Van Sciver, right? He's a prime example. He's flat out canceled. DC hates his guts because he spoke out about what was going on over there, and they just hate him. But you know what? He's making a ton of money off a podcast now. I don't know if he even puts a pen to paper anymore. Because he's ranting and raving to people like me that like to rant and rave because his politics are similar. And he's sick and tired of the same thing that I'm sick and tired of. So guess what? He makes some money, doing everything but comic books. Geez, Jim Shooter. Jim Shooter hadn't done the show circuit in years. And I think Larry Hama was one of the people that helped talk him into, hey, come on, just do a couple of shows. Make yourself some money. Do some signatures, right? Somebody comes in and does an interview with him, and he says something that they don't like. So guess what? Here they go. We're going to cancel Jim Shooter. Jim Shooter hasn't done or said anything in years. And the first thing you people do is try to cancel him because he said something you don't like. And all he did was tell the truth.
Yep.
So, yeah, Cyberfrog. Yep.
Oh, now you gave me an idea, and I'm gonna have to.
I'm gonna regret that.
Cyber frog. Now I'm gonna have to put my frog, squeaky frog, on top of my cyber truck.
I don't think that's what Cyberfrog's all about.
I've looked. I can't find any information on when Marvel's contract's up with Hasbro or Disney.
It's probably top secret. DC's never kept it secret. So
I've looked, can't find anything about it.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, the DC license comes up again in December. Yeah. And I'm not convinced he's going for it. I think he's trying to get every penny out of that license before he abandons it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess.
He's not putting figures out.
What? I did some trading and stuff, like I said, over the weekend. I got my Silver Age Hal Jordan, the digital version. I got that classic Aquaman from my 6-inch Superpowers classic Justice League display that I've got upstairs in the living room. 7-inch, whatever. And I'm looking at that going, you know what? I got to get the Atom, which just came out. And then there's 3 more figures that I really, really, really want. And then I couldn't care less if I never bought a McFarlane figure again. And that's a good classic Hawkgirl, a good classic Zatanna, and a good classic Black Canary. If I had even the Green Arrow that I got, the Longbow Hunters, it's not perfect, but it's okay. I would really rather have a classic Ollie. But that's the 3rd Green Arrow they've done. I don't know if we're ever going to see a classic Green Arrow out of those guys, but
you might have to get one of the DC directors.
That Longbow Hunters is a pretty good figure. He fits up there pretty good. So, and it's a really nice display, guys. It really is. It's a good display of figures. There's just 3 after the Atom. There's just 3 more that I care about, and then I couldn't care less.
Right.
I mean, that's sad, but it's true.
I understand where you're going with that, but I think Hasbro still does pretty good on those Marvel Legends. I don't have a lot.
No, they don't. That's what I'm telling you. They don't.
A lot of them, but they're nice.
They're not selling, bud. No one's talking about their quality.
Quality, nice.
Yeah, that's great.
I've seeing a lot of posts where people was hoping Hasbro would get the DC license and do with them what they done with Marvel Legends, which McFarlane's done quite a few figures, but I will say the Marvel Legends, they've done some characters that I never thought we'd ever see.
Super obscure, yeah.
Sort of like the DC Universe line did. Mattel did that with the DC Universe line.
Yep.
if they had the articulation then that the Marvel Legends has
Oh,
got
I
now,
know.
that DC
I know.
Universe line would have been fantastic.
Yep, I agree.
Those hinged leg joints. So was the I mean, it wasn't bad, but
It wasn't great.
Wasn't great neither.
Yeah, no, I agree. Geez, there's well over 200 McFarlane figures at this point. Well over 200. So this is going to sound strange, but I mean, there's only a couple of Titans left that he could actually do. He could finish the JSA, and he could finish a superpower-esque Justice League. But that's about it. I hate to say it, but I'm really thinking that he's just about run the DC license dry anyways, to be perfectly honest. Geez, some of the stuff that he's put out recently is pretty obscure. That Bullseye Batman and that manga Batman, both versions of that, those are pretty obscure. It's boy, I don't know. All the movie figures, I got to tell you, man, he's got a. I don't know. I guess they're selling. Yeah, no. I mean,
yes, they are.
I know, like Adam buys them. But it's not like you see a lot of them on the shelves either. So,
well, the Walmarts around me is quick carrying McFarlane altogether.
Yeah, it's shrunk up quite a bit around
here. I did notice today the stock at one Walmart on Marvel Legends they got is old stock.
Yeah,
it is. I'm not going to say the guy's name, but he only has one eye. So they had restocked their Marvel Legends, and he was one of them that they restocked. And Dr. Ed,
I don't know what to do. What's going on with that? Because Target, or at least around here, Target and Walmart's all of them. They got some of the MCU figures, but they don't have any of the Build-A-Figure waves. I hadn't seen any Build-A-Figure waves from this year in none of the stores.
No, I believe it.
Except for GameStop. GameStop's the only place I can find Build-A-Figures. Otherwise, you got to pretty much order them from online.
This whole Plastic Man Build-A-Figure wave from McFarlane was an absolute disaster. I mean, it seemed like you go to one Target and you see a whole case of John Stewart's. And then the other one, you go see a whole case of
Batman,
the Black Batman, and then rarely you saw a whole case of the Aquamans, right? But the Supermans, the blue and the red, they were made of unobtainium. Now I was trying to find a John Stewart. I've been looking for a John Stewart for a week now to finish my Plastic Man. All of a sudden, and I can't find one. So I think they're still available online. But
I think GameStop still got them in stock. You get them from GameStop, you'll probably get the Platinum Edition.
Yeah, and I don't want them. I don't care. I just want his legs. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick of Neil O'Brien hanging around here with no legs. It's just like, what was the guy from Forrest Gump? Sort of Captain, whatever his name was.
You can take legs off a Supergirl and put on him, then they would all be matched, be all red.
It probably work actually. I got to finish it
for the last 2 weeks, and I keep forgetting about it. I had a couple of pins I was going to show you guys that I got back in the 80s.
Wow, 10 pegs. Wow.
What's that?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead. Nothing.
I got this Batman pin. Oh wait, it actually goes like that, don't it?
Nice.
It's got the bat emblem on it, but you pull it out, and I think it's cracked up there. I need to get a battery and put it. You put a couple of AA battery or AAA batteries in there and press this button right there. If you see that little button, and it lights up. It's a light up bat pin. This come out around the time the movie did back in '89. I found it the other day cleaning, so you take it out and you put I think two looks like two AAA batteries. I need to get a couple of AAA batteries and put it in there and see if it still works. The ink's probably dried up in it, I'm sure.
Oh, probably, yeah.
But this other one I've had for, I don't remember when I got it. But it's an ink pen. But it's also
a transformer.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
You pop that off.
YouTube video.
And actually you take that out and stick on his foot. Well, if I can get it on there now. And then you take this part, pop on the top, and the cap, of course. Voila. And you see he's got a face.
Look at that.
Makes a little transformer.
That's pretty neat.
There's very little. I mean, it used to ride. I mean, it ran out of ink a long time ago. I don't know if you could get a replacement for it or not. Probably if you could get one that would fit in there, just cut it off and put it in there. Because it only had that much ink in it. Because that was all it was holding.
Yeah.
But I've had this thing for a year. I found it in the box the other day. I said, I forgot about it. I just thought it was kind of neat.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
It is cool.
You know
But,
those.
I don't even know if it's got any. Let's see. It says made in Taiwan. ROC. I don't know what that stands for.
Republic of China.
Okay. Republic of China. Yeah. And that's all. It don't have a date on it or anything.
If it says ROC on it, it's pretty old because that's what we're fighting over now.
Yeah.
They want it back. So,
like I said, I've had this thing for years.
that's funny.
I always thought it was neat. I always hung on to it instead of, getting rid of it. I thought, it's something different, something you don't see every day.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know those little gray Bic pens they make? Just those? You can actually pop the top off and just take out the ink part. And if you're wanting to replace the ink, just take one of those out and you can.
Cool.
That's news to us old guys, right?
It's not. But I just wanted to get that out there.
Each of us have had more of those pop in our pockets than years you've been alive. So yeah.
I also forgot for the last 2 weeks to show my equal win where I actually won something off equal.
Oh yeah.
And of course at least it was the superpowers thing, which I was trying to get a set of those. Limited to 5,100 pieces. Put the artwork on the back. And voila.
Ta-da.
There they are. I don't know, they're kind of neat.
Yeah. Different, huh?
Yeah. I'll probably just leave them in the box. I won't put them over the rest of them, but I like the box and all. This design pretty good. But yeah, I'm just excited that I finally won something off equal. So I was beginning to think mine was just going into a recycle bin somewhere on their computer or something.
Guess what those are made of?
And I did get my the Adam West Batman come with a card here. It's got the
digital, yeah.
So I scanned it and entered my thing, and I guess it runs through February of next year, and you can win an actual retro, a limited edition replica cowl.
Oh yes,
West cowl. So, I figured, hey. Oh, and by the way, this does have an actual photo on the back of the box.
The photo, right? Yeah.
But that'd be cool to win that cowl and have an actual 66 Batman cowl to wear.
That'd be cool. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that piece that you just showed that you won, John. Those are up on the website for sale now.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
They are. They didn't sell them all, so now they're just up on the site for sale.
Couldn't give me one of them stupid platinum Wonder Womans, but they could give me these and then turn around and put them up for sale.
I know. I got to run one of those down too.
Yeah. I did get me I got me a Deadpool this week too.
Oh, there you go. Look, this is purple.
No, I think that's the pink one.
It looks purple to me.
It's purple to me.
Is that purple or pink?
I like pink.
Well, there's a pink one too.
This was the character Terror. So so Deadpool hired a bunch of guys, Fool Killer, Madcap, I think Terror, and there were a couple of other guys. They all dressed in different colored Deadpool outfits. They were the merch for the money.
Merch for the money.
So the purple was a character called Terror, which was an odd character. And he wasn't even actually from Earth 616. He was from another Earth. But this comes from the Marvel, what is it, Marvel Unlimited, where you can subscribe and get access to all the digital comics and all. Every year they do an exclusive figure, and this was the exclusive figure for last year or this year one. I didn't subscribe to it because I got them all, in hard copies. I don't really care about reading digital comics, so I'll just wait until somebody puts them up on eBay, and then I'll grab me one. And I actually got it at a good deal, like $25 or something like that. Cost $50 just to subscribe to get the figure.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
figured,
Right.
why pay $50 for a subscription when I can
Right.
just turn around and buy it for like $25 and save me $25? So
I was just gonna ask. I was just gonna ask if someone could look for like a loose Wade Wilson head or something.
I don't know if they made one, did they?
I've seen them on eBay before, but it's like $90 for its like custom one.
Oh, I hate to break it to you, buddy, but that's just not happening.
I wonder if they made a normal one. I just want to know that.
Yeah.
If they did, someone just tell me.
What's the BCA? I don't know what
just
that
let me
is.
do the peace sign there for you.
I am not a crook.
The what now?
It's just I am not a crook. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Nixon.
that's it. I am not a crook.
I am not a crook.
I am back.
Corey said he wanted a BCA Deadpool.
Yeah, what is the BC? What's the BCA?
British
What's
Columbia.
BCA?
BCA?
Yeah, I want the BCA Deadpool. I don't have any idea what that is.
BCA.
That's the pink one.
Breast cancer awareness. Okay, that makes
Wow.
sense. So
Oh.
that in pink would make sense. Sure, I didn't know they made such a thing. I don't.
Me neither.
That one's not easy to find.
But it's a good thing to. Well,
I wouldn't doubt they
Oh,
don't
geez,
do
it should be. I mean, if it's for a cause like that, you'd think it would be really easy to find,
you would think so.
right? Wouldn't that make more sense? Geez, if you're going to overproduce something, at least have a meeting, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, can I end on a positive note? Because I know I gripe and complain a lot, and one of these weeks I'm actually going to run out of things to gripe and complain about because this stuff's just going to either get
We'll
better.
never run out of stuff to gripe about because we're old cranky old men.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm brokenhearted over most of this stuff. But a few weeks ago, I told you guys that I went on to that Humble Bundle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And John just saying digital comics made me remind of it. I've never read a digital comic in my life until this past week. And I have to be honest with you, it made me realize, number one, how hot a laptop gets when you hold it close to your face. Number two, exactly how bad my glasses are and they need replacement because I actually had to sit in my chair with my laptop up close to my face. But anyways, I bought the Humble Bundle, which half of the proceeds ended up going to the Children's Miracle Network, which was number one, an awesome thing to do.
Yeah.
Number two, 15 volumes from issue number one until the last issue. I think it was 150 of the IDW Ninja Turtles run. I have to tell you, I'm only 11 issues in. And granted, this book is old now, but that is one of the best comics I have read in years. Years and years and years. It's actually incredibly well done. It's still very respectful to the original storyline because Eastman is still involved with it, which was good. It revamps everything. It retells an origin story. It's actually fantastic. My pickup for this week is this Jenica. I haven't even gotten to the point where she is in the book, but this was a short-lived character in that storyline. This is a female turtle, and she was, well, from what I've read, she actually did not start out as a turtle, but started out as a human. So I'm very curious to get here. But the reason I want to show you this is kind of odd, but this Loyal Subjects, this Best Axon or Asian, however, this company has too many names. I don't know if you ever noticed that about these guys. Loyal Subjects. Yeah, well, it's Best Asian is what it's supposed to say, but it's also the Loyal Subjects. But anyways,
yep.
This is kind of weird. This figure is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Okay, still with me. That went up for sale on Amazon 2 weeks before Comic-Con. From this Loyal Subjects company, direct from the company through Amazon. So this wasn't a third-party seller. I haven't been waiting for. I paid retail for this. It says, limited edition collector card inside, blah, 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 blah. This is a Comic-Con exclusive that went up for sale on Amazon before Comic-Con because apparently loyal subjects decided that, you know what? Comic-Con exclusives ain't actually fair to every other collector on the planet that's not going to Comic-Con. I thought that was unique, right? There were they had 3 different Turtles exclusives to Comic-Con. 2 of them were 2-packs, and then there's this Jenica, whatever her name is. And I really couldn't pass this up because, she goes with my other Turtles that I was actually able to nail down. So I thought that was incredibly positive that somebody figured out that Comic-Con exclusives really aren't that great of a thing.
I don't get if they put a figure out at Comic-Con, maybe even put a little sticker on it says San Diego Comic-Con, and then 6 months after Comic-Con, then offer it in general distribution. So the people that go to Comic-Con that actually make it to Comic-Con, they actually say, well, I got it first 6 months before everybody else, but at least make it, because they're not. I mean, I know there's a large number of people go to Comic-Con, but there's a larger number of people that don't go
and will never get to.
Right.
You'll never get to go to Comic-Con because number 1, the cost, number 2, distance, number 3, scheduling, number 4, you can't actually buy tickets because they prioritize people that have had tickets before.
Yep.
They sell out literally in seconds because the bots are notoriously so bad. So you know what? Comic-Con is like Mecca, right? I mean, it's like every geek, every toy collector, every comic guy wants to go to Comic-Con in San Diego. But John's right. Let's face it. You want the truth? I'm going to say it. Over 95% of the people that want to go to Comic-Con will never get to go to Comic-Con. So let's be realistic here, guys. If you get to go to Comic-Con, that's all the blessing you get. You should not, on top of that, have access to stuff that no one else gets access to.
Right.
It should be opposite. We don't get to go to Comic-Con, so we get the special stuff. You're getting to go to Comic-Con. Quit your griping.
Yeah.
We get to
know about this.
We get, you should be eliminated from being able to buy anything if you get to go to Comic-Con.
Well, and see, that's the thing. The people do get to go to Comic-Con, they overpay for everything there because everything's way more expensive.
I looked at it for one person. I was just curious because Amy asked, because the tickets go up in October. And I said to her, I said, you know what? Can we try to get Comic-Con tickets? I've never tried. Well, I'm just giving her a heads up, right? Because you know what? There may be on another one of my super top secret Arashikage credit cards, there may be a huge charge at the end of October. I'm serious. Because I'm going to actually try to get Comic-Con tickets. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not getting mine, but I'm actually going to try, right? But I looked it up. The average cost of one person to go to Comic-Con as of this year, $2,200.
Yep.
And that they didn't take meals into account because, people's diets and how much you eat, where you have to eat, where you want to eat.
You go to Comic-Con and you buy stuff and stay in the room, you ain't going to have money to eat with.
No.
You're going to be fasting the whole time.
You're dumpster diving. Go down to the pier and, fight the seagulls with McDonald's French fries. $2,200 per person to go to Comic-Con. Now, I think you could probably, I hate to say this, but you could probably rent a car and sleep in it for a lot cheaper than the hotel rooms and everything else. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
oh yeah.
And let's face it, most Comic-Cons, a lot of them are wandering around. They don't bathe anyway, so you'd fit right in. It wouldn't matter.
Well,
I'm cosplaying a Swamp Thing. Give me a break.
Yeah. Not a lot of cosplaying to it.
Yeah, but no, I'm kidding. Actually, all of my ancient Chinese secret cards are all maxed out. I don't have any more. I don't have any more Arashikage credit cards anymore. But you know what? I figured I'd try, because to be perfectly honest with you, the tickets aren't that expensive.
No.
If you actually look at it, the tickets aren't that expensive at all. But I wanted to try. I just wanted to try once, because you got to admit, it would be pretty awesome to get to go to Comic-Con.
Yeah, the deal was the deal was they get to go to Comic-Con. Me and Silas get dropped off in the middle of the Mojave Desert.
That's an idea. Death Valley. We'll see if it lived up to his name. We drop him off in Vegas.
You know
That's
the
what I was saying. You drop us on the outskirts. Just we walk.
The place
there.
where they hold Comic-Con at, that convention center or whatever, it's unionized. So the dealers that set up at Comic-Con, they're not even allowed to carry their own stuff in and take it out. They have to have union workers do it, and then so they have to pay them. So that's added expense.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And that's why everything's part of why everything's so much more expensive there.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I want to try. I would love to go to Comic-Con. I know they call it LineCon now. You guys have heard that, right? They call it LineCon because no matter what it is you're doing, you're just standing in line. But you got to admit, it would be really cool to just be there and wander around.
I still haven't made it to Dragon Con yet. And it's just in Atlanta. I keep saying every year I'm going to go, and I never have the money to go when it gets time.
Yeah, I know. Hey, speaking of which, Jolanta, right? The very end of September, 28th, 29th, or 27th, and 28th.
28th, 29th, I think.
There you go. So keep that in mind because I'm sure there will be something for a contingent going over. Maybe, kind of, sort of.
Don't forget PulseCon coming up.
PulseCon is the 13th, and Target's Fall Geek Out, where every Friday for 5 weeks, this coming Friday, there's been zero word if any Joe stuff is coming out, but there's other stuff from other lines you're going to collect that's going to be popping up for pre-order. So pay attention to that. If I'm not mistaken, that is 10 a.m. Eastern, which gives it 9 a.m. our time, right?
Yeah.
Is the first drops on the 30th, which is Friday on the Target collector spot. Don't just go to target.com. You have to go to the collector spot, and there'll be Geek Out links there. So pay attention to that. Also what?
Corey talked about he's getting that 97 Wolverine. I don't have one. I have this one with the claws. This is my only Wolverine.
And be thankful for it.
Yes, I like this one.
I'm glad. Because it's the only one you're getting.
No, that's the only one that you're going to get for me. But that's not the only one I'm getting. I might buy myself.
Rumor has it that she makes an appearance in a comic book very, very soon. So, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the only, John can help me here. This is the only Pythona that's ever been made, right?
Sure is.
Until they make classified here.
Yes, right.
Hopefully by the end of the year.
He already appeared in Cobra Commander, so.
Yep.
Okay, so there you go.
She did appear in Cobra Commander.
I had absolutely no ability to say no because I had him set her aside for me, a month or so ago. And then it was just like, yeah, you know what? Before that disappears, I'm going to go ahead and pick her up because very cool figure, by the way. Very cool. And I'll show him real quick. Woo-hoo. Sandar. 25th Sandar.
Really good looking figure.
Very cool. And I still wouldn't be surprised if that pistol showed up at some point in time. So I'll keep an eye out on it. But anyways.
Good night, Emmeett.
Good night, Emmeett.
Good night, Emmeett.
Next week will be all positive all the time. There'll be absolutely nothing negative whatsoever. That's just not
except for our wallets.
Right. That's right. That's not accurate at all. We'll have something else to gripe about, but there'll be good stuff too. Stingers. This is a good week, right?
Yep.
I'm still heartbroken over DC Comics. I'm sorry, but I am. But Turtles.
It was a good
Turtles
week
is
for me.
awesome. Turtles was great. Stingers. We'll see what they release on Friday. What else?
Shout out to Billy Holland for hooking your boy up with the Jinx.
Yep. Cool.
Really looking forward to opening her up.
Yep.
Good night, guys. Have a good
Good
night.
Good night, Shane.
No.
Good night, John.